How's it going? Zeus? How are ya? Can you hear everything alright? Everything looks good to me. Oh, hey, Cable! Thanks, Zeus. How are you guys? Turn the music down so it's just in the background. I don't know if you guys saw my tweet, but I have a nice store-bought kombucha today. This one is called Alive. And it's not really a kombucha, it's just like a probiotic beverage. It has mushrooms in it, guys. So it's reishi, chaga, turkey tail mushrooms with yerba mate tea, raw apple cider vinegar, mint, maple syrup, and cultures. I know, isn't it cool? That's why I have to tell you what it says, because you can't see it otherwise. It's called Alive. Yeah, I didn't try to make her taste it. It really just tastes like mint, yerba mate. It's really good. Also, I don't know if you guys saw on Twitter that Rusty's not feeling very good today. He's actually in my lap, but he's like sitting like this on the arm of the chair. So he's been having some stuff come out both ends. Yeah, I don't like doing that. She has trust issues already, so I'm not gonna trick her. But yeah. She's eaten mushrooms. She eats them. She just doesn't like to think about it. My poor little doggo. So yeah, you guys are good. Zeus says he's busy. I noticed you said you were working on some homework and stuff in the chat. How are you doing, Cables? It looked like on Twitter you were also having a lot of stuff related to school happening. But, yeah. Trying to do homework so I can take the next 2 afternoons off. Cool. You gonna get some games in, Zeus? We're just gonna have a, Woo! Hi! Thank you, Ducks, for the host. Only here for a little bit. We're getting ready to head out the door. Cool. Well, thanks for stopping by. Cables is taking a break from school-related things to snack on cheese and peanut butter. Good choices. So, this is just going to be a short-ish stream, depending on how many questions you guys have. But, basically, Zeus had suggested this episode, which is kind of like nutrition basics, to kind of go over, like, some tips for you guys, planning meals and coming up with healthier alternatives to food choices. Which is really all that I'm all about. I am a nutritionist, but I'm not the kind of person who wants you to deny yourself things. So, I mean, take me for instance. We had pizza and cake twice over the weekend because it's hard. Feeding yourself is hard. So, I put together this page here. Let me get it in here. Which has an overview and larger images of everything that I'm going to show you today. Yeah, adulting is hard. But basically what I'm going to do, I set this up to be a little slideshow, and we're going to talk about just like the most basic nutrition-y stuff. So the thing that Zeus really suggested was talking about protein. So we're going to jump right into it here. So if you want to follow along, you can open that page. It has bigger images for you to look at. I'm not sure I put this one up there, but so basically this is a chart that ta-da! There we go. Dietary reference intakes, recommended intakes for individuals, total water and macronutrients. So protein is one of the macronutrients. Protein, carbohydrates, and fats are the ones that most people think about. So protein is going to be over on this side right here. And then everybody's like informations is going to be my hands off the screen. The very first column tells you which type of person you're looking at, age range, and then goes through the list of carbohydrates, fiber, fat, the different acids, and the proteins. So Zeus's concern was he wanted to know if he was getting enough protein per day. So if you look at the age group, so Zeus, males, so you're right on the edge here. So I would put you in the 19 to 30 year category here. So the recommended daily intake average for that age group is 56 grams of protein. We'll call it 19. 56 grams of protein per day. So that's the average. That's a minimum suggestion too. So how you figure out for you specifically, if you want to go a little bit further into it, why are you not working? Oh man. Wait. There we go. Yay, I figured it out! So this is my first OBS slideshow, you guys, so I have to figure out which area of the program I need to be in order to get to my next slide. Okay, so this is also on the website. So I basically took this information from Livestrong because it provided the best explanation that I could come up with. So basically, to get the most accurate reading of how much protein you should be getting in a day, you want to start by weighing yourself and then converting the pounds into kilograms. If you already weigh yourself in kilograms, you don't have to do this step. So, and then to that number, you're going to multiply it by 0.8 to determine how much grams of protein that you would need per kilogram of your body weight. So I did me as an example. 118 pounds multiplied by 2.2 gives us about 54 kilograms. The 0.8 recommendation is for if you're sedentary, so like no physical activity. I am pretty physically active, but I'm not athletic. So 43 is the minimum based on 0.8 for me, to 50 or so if you're looking at 0.9. Athletic people, they give the example of 1.4 to 1.8 grams of protein per kilogram. Definitely not a marathon runner, so I wouldn't even bother going up that high. So 43 to 50 grams for me. And then the next step is to kind of keep track of whether or not you're getting that amount. So I did that. I did a sample day on MyFitnessPal, which is a handy dandy food tracker, exercise tracker website, to determine if I am meeting that. You can use MyFitnessPal as a tool. You don't need to use it every day, but most people eat the same things pretty regularly, so it'll give you a good idea of whether or not your food choices are providing you with sufficient amounts of protein, carbohydrates, fats. If it's too high in fats, if they're too high in sugar, it'll give you a good glimpse of that sort of thing. So I did myself like a little sample day, and this is the protein column kind of in the middle where it says remaining 24. So the program suggested that I get, based on my weight and activity level, 73 to 97 grams of protein per day, which seems like a lot to me. I'm really suggesting that you stick with the calculation that was provided before. And I did get 73 grams of protein that day, so I'm definitely not in the range where I have to be worried about not getting enough. My daily goal being 97, according to this, that's really high. Cable said last time I went to the doctor, they told me to aim for at least 50 to 60 grams of protein because my anemia woes. Yeah, alas, these last few weeks of school have pretty much ruined that. Aww. Yeah, an addendum to that, obviously, is some people with different medical conditions definitely need more protein than others. That being said, you, as a person in a developed country, will never be protein deficient everything that you eat has protein in it. Dang, I only get like 27 in a day, says Zeus. You might want to start keeping track of some things. You're, like I was saying, you're never going to be protein deficient or malnourished in terms of protein. Plus whatever Oreos have. I'm not sure it's very many. But just to give you an example, one banana has approximately a gram of protein. So you could eat 30 bananas in a day and still have plenty of protein. So just throwing that out there. Some side effects of not getting enough protein are fatigue, lack of muscle development. You might have less energy. You do need it. It's a building block. So like carbohydrates are kind of like your fuel. Protein is what your cells make your matter out of. So you do need to eat it, and you do need to eat enough amounts. Otherwise, your body won't be able to repair itself. Doggo wants to get down. Bye, Rusty. Okay, so I'm going to look at my outline here to make sure I don't get off track. So I showed you the equation and the amounts that I calculated for myself. I also wanted to point out that the recommended amount of fats and sugar on MyFitnessPal are you're almost always going to be over on, because it is a weight loss app. It's not a health tracker specifically. Hey, Blissy. Duck says, I used to eat bananas like I was doing a skeleton for it. Yeah, I have had my days where I'm like, ugh, everything is making me sick. I'm just going to eat bananas. And you know what? Bananas are virtually the perfect food because they have all of your electrolytes, they have protein, and they have carbs. So, I mean, yes, you don't want to only eat bananas, but if you have a day where you only have a few food choices, eating more than one banana is not going to kill you. There's actually a myth that eating too many bananas will constipate you, but it's exactly the opposite, because they have all the things in them that help keep you regular. MVP's banana song told me about the yup. Okay, so that brings us to serving sizes. So protein is kind of something that you have to calculate based on what type of food you're eating. Serving sizes, though, depend on the food groups. So the next thing on the page is a link to this chart. It's kind of an overview of different types of foods to show you how much a serving of each type would be. So what's visible here is only a portion of what's on the list. A doctor put this together. So down at the bottom, you'll see chicken, beef, fish, pork. And what you're looking for, the serving size is about the size of your palm. Duck says, someone told me bananas would make me fat, so I eased back on them, but I've since been corrected. Yeah, bananas are great. I usually have 2 per day. So a slice of whole wheat bread is a serving of a grain. And I don't know why they put a hand shape out there to show you how much a serving of bread is. A serving of bread, if it's sliced, is a slice. A serving of a grain is also a serving of like 1 large tortilla, 2 small corn tortillas. Dry cereal, 1 bowl, is about a cup, and a cup is about like a wide fist, not this area, but like the whole thing. And you can even do an experiment. You can kind of like put your fist down, fill a bowl with a cup of cereal, and compare it. So once you get familiar with how much a serving size is, you don't need to measure as much anymore, and you'll get into the habit of knowing how much is good for you, and how much you need to cut back on, how much you need to add. Fruit is actually really easy to do. If it's a whole fruit, it counts as a fruit. If you're looking at berries, there's some debate about that. 1/2 cup to 1 cup is a serving of berries. Berries are actually really low in calories and really good in terms of how much sugar they have. So it's actually a preferred fruit compared to tropical fruit, which can sometimes spike your blood sugar. But with tropical fruit, you don't have the same sort of risk of your blood sugar going below where it was before, like you do with refined sugar or refined grains. But that's a diabetes conversation. That's a little further ahead of us. Okay, so salad. This brings me to an excellent point about salad. So when I first went vegetarian 20 years ago, salad was not a thing that my family really ate. I hate lettuce still, and I don't really eat salad very much. And one of the reasons for that is people think that the only thing you put on salad is vegetables, and that should not be the case. So to start with, you want your leafy greens, and like it says in the picture, you want the plate to be covered about this much with leafy greens. But on top of it, you have to put things that are heavier in order for it to be a meal. If you want salad just on the side, all veggies is okay, but if you're trying to make salad into a meal, you need things in it that are heartier, so you won't be hungry a half an hour after you eat it. Okay, so this is one resource that I put together for you guys to show you serving sizes. Cable says, but spinach, clementines, chicken, and almonds equals tasty. That sounds like a really good salad, Cables. Yeah. So the next thing that I put on the list here is actually an app, so I can't show it to you. But basically, this one doctor that I follow, I had 40 hours of his nutritional videos as part of my curriculum when I was studying to be a nutritionist. So it's Dr. Greger's Daily Dozen Checklist. He actually created this list while he was writing his book, How Not to Die. It's basically a not a cookbook, but a nutrition book that covers chronic disease and how what you eat can affect your risk of developing chronic disease. So his philosophy is very similar to mine. Oh, hey, babe. Hey, everybody. It's McVegan Pants. Can McVegan Pants get a shout out from the mods? I was just telling them all about my favorite doctor, Dr. Greger, and his little app, the Dr. Greger's Daily Dozen Checklist. So I really think you guys should check this out. All of you seem really excited about McPretzel Pants. You all seem very excited about trying to eat healthier, and I've been playing around with this app for a few days, and it's really fun. So, oh, is it the full word, or is it a different command? Oh, am I supposed to set that up? I probably didn't set that up. Yeah, my bad. You can post a link. I'm a noob. Thanks, Zeus. Okay, so the checklist. Basically, and I'm going to pull it up here. Let me get rid of this slideshow for a second. So, I tried to see if I could show it to you on my phone. And if I tilt it to the side, you can kind of see. But basically, it has all the different food groups on here. And then all these checkboxes over here are how many of each type you should eat in a day. So basically, it says beans, 3 servings, berries, 1, other fruits, 3. And then when you click on each thing, it'll show you a picture, and it'll give you suggestions or ideas right here as to what constitutes a serving size for that group. And what I really like about this app is that it also has at the bottom beverages, exercise, vitamin B12, and vitamin D. So it'll help you remember to do all of the really important things. And it does keep track of your progress. It tracks how many times you've updated your app. But it's available on Apple and Android, and I tried to see if there was like a printable checklist, and it doesn't seem like he has one. There is one in the... It looks cracked. You mean my phone looks cracked? It is cracked. You guys you have no idea how much horribleness I have had with this phone the last few days. for instance, the dog vomiting all over the house this morning, poor MVP was trying to call me to tell me all of this stuff happening to the dog, and it went straight to voicemail. Then she texted me, and I listened to her voicemail, and I texted her back, and she didn't get my text message. So I had to call her on the work phone. Yeah, we're wealthy and have the newest and best phones, Kappa. Yeah. Anyway, Apple and Android, download the app. I don't know if I can share, if you can share your progress. If you can, I'm gonna start doing it, but I don't think we can. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't. But you guys should check it out. It'll help you kind of keep track of your progress. Okay. So in addition to those things, I also provided some printable tools on my website. So again, here's the link. And so basically, the first one is a food record. And this will help you figure out what you're eating too much of, what you want to eat more of, and you can print it and take it with you, and it's super easy. And the other thing, again, I'm in the wrong thing. Nope, come on, slideshow, there we go. Printable food group serving sizes chart. Again, you can take that with you. It's not visual, it's just descriptive. Cordell says, don't you think someone will bully you for carrying a food chart around? No, because we're adults, and adults don't bully each other, and if they do, you can tell HR, and they'll go and get in trouble. So, if you have a real question, you can ask me. Otherwise, I have mods, and you can go away. So, Zeus, if you want to take this with you, wherever you go, you can take it to the cafeteria with you, and then that'll help you pick out what you want for lunch. Besides, if you do get bullied at school for being concerned about your health, you can just tell all those people, screw. I do not want to be bullied for taking this around. Well, you don't have to. I was just telling everybody that there's a handy dandy little app that you can use if you want to do that instead. That way people won't know. You can have it on your phone. Who cares what people think? McVegan Pants is right. Yep, Cables is right too. Bye, ducks. Thanks for coming. A food chart is just to help you figure out whether or not you're eating enough of specific foods. You could get hit by a car tomorrow and what you eat won't affect your lifespan at all. So the next slide is the myplate.gov serving size recommendations. So this was made by the government a few years ago. And you will notice that it emphasizes eating more vegetables and grains, followed by protein and fruits, and dairy off to the side. And this is another really good visual guide. Unfortunately, it's based on meals as opposed to specific food groups. So when you're thinking about like breakfast, you don't usually have vegetables, grains, fruits, protein, and dairy all in one meal. You could, but I think you should be using this as a visual for your day. So, for instance, you want to emphasize eating vegetables and grains over the other portions, and you have to determine how you can do that best. So, You have to separate your meals up, obviously, but you have to try. It's hard to describe this one. Zeus, are you familiar with the myplate.gov thing? Because you were probably still in school while they rolled this out. When I was growing up, we had the food pyramid, and it showed you each type of food, how many you're supposed to do, and it didn't just leave this general picture up for you. So if it were me, I would just use the regular food group thing. In fact, I actually have another one. So this is one that I like a lot, and obviously you don't have to stick to it. See where it says up here, legumes 3+, you can just think of that as lean protein. So all your chicken and beef and stuff would be in that category. But you'll see how it says 5+ vegetables, 4+ grains. This gives you a number. Zeus says, we never covered it in health class, but I watched enough Food Network. I was trained with the pyramid. The pyramid makes sense. But I don't know why they decided to do it the other way. Probably because people don't have time to actually have meals with different portions in it. And they just kind of like, here, trying to do this. Cable says the Canadian government had this weird pyramid, but it had way too much going on with it. I've never seen that before. If you find it for me, if you find it, can you share it for me? Because I'm not sure where to look for that. I guess I could try looking at the Canadian food pyramid and see what happens. But okay, so this one is a lot easier to understand. Like I said, 5 servings of vegetables, 4 grains, 3 lean proteins, and then you have 3 fruits, 1 to 2 nuts, and you can also include healthy fats in there. So like avocado, cooking oil, mayonnaise you could also put in there. And then off to the side up top, it has the recommendations for vitamin D, B12, and omega-3s. And those things are the most important supplements that you want. So the next thing on my list is daily supplementation, which Zeus was also kind of worried about. He had suggested another episode about omega-3s and stuff like that. But because this is nutrition basics, we'll talk about the basics. So basically, you should consider taking a multivitamin. A once daily is perfectly acceptable for most people. A multivitamin usually has more per serving, but you have to take more pills in order to reach that. So that being said, the ideal type would be one that's made out of food as opposed to synthetic. And the reason for that is it's often easier for you to digest. If a synthetic vitamin, if you eat a synthetic vitamin, it's more likely to go through you without being digested completely. So liquid vitamins and food-based vitamins are absorbed into the body more effectively. They call that bioavailability. A lot of them are also fermented now, which is supposed to increase the amount that you actually retain from the vitamin. So you should be trying to get most of your vitamins and minerals from food, but we really do encourage you to take a multivitamin just in case. And I mean, MVP and I do, and it seems to do a good job. I mean, there were times when we weren't taking vitamins that we thought we were like dying, but we just had vitamin deficiencies. We thought we had diabetes. Nope. We just felt like crap because we weren't getting enough nutrients. And I mean, that says something because we eat fairly healthily, but sometimes you just need stuff that you don't get out of your diet. So, in addition to a multivitamin, those are really the only things you need to be worrying about on a regular basis. So vitamin D, the most popular one at the moment is vitamin D3, and that's because it's easy to produce. It either comes from algae or from lanolin or from carbon, I think. But most of the ones that you will see will be lanolin based. The algae based ones are vegetarian though. And it's Oh, hi, Tin Soldier 59. Thanks for the follow. Welcome. We're in the segment of Nutrition Basics talking about supplements. And I was just talking about vitamin D3, which is an easily absorbable vitamin D form that you can get pretty much everywhere. B12 is also another essential vitamin everybody should be taking, not just people who don't eat meat. A lot of people are under the impression that they don't need to take it if they eat meat. And even if you don't have any digestive problems, it's something you should consider because it requires a lot of work from your guts to break down and absorb vitamin B12 from food. Zeus wants to know what exactly is the difference between the numbers B3, B9, B12, etc. So the different B vitamins do different things, and I can get a list and go over that real quick for you. I actually have a really fun chart of these at work that I wish I had right now. Here we go. Okay. Ooh. Big Vegan Pants is now hosting my stream. Yay! Thanks, Vegan Pants. Okay, so you can also look for this. I'll try to remember to go back and put it on this page, but so B12. Oh, this is just, that's the wrong list. You're just springing things on me now. Okay. B12 plays a role in a healthy nervous system as well as being helpful in the formation of blood cells. It also plays a role in the construction of DNA. So B12 is the most important B vitamin that you should be getting in your diet. That's why it's recommended that you supplement in addition to getting it from your food. They're studying the relationship that B12 has with Alzheimer's disease. And there's a really strong connection with it. So they just did a study that's kind of revealing that right now the best preventative measure they can recommend is eating dark leafy green vegetables, taking a B12 supplement, and eating beans. And I'll try to link to that on that page later too, because it's a fascinating study. And to think that just doing those 3 things might prevent Alzheimer's is really fascinating. Okay, so B5 is also called pantothenic acid. It's snowing here. What? The blinds are closed, so I can't see if it's snowing here, but that's horrible. Okay, B5 is needed for the synthesis of coenzyme A. It is also helpful in metabolizing carbs, proteins, and fats. B9 is called folic acid. It's very important for expectant mothers. It helps with the intense cell growth due to pregnancy. And it also is integral in repairing DNA and RNA. So they all do different things. This one doesn't list the numbers next to it. I think riboflavin is B2 and niacin is B6. If you want, you can look that up and quiz me. But riboflavin plays a part in energy metabolism, as well as ketone, carb, fat, and protein metabolism. And niacin is involved in the repair of DNA. So it is a very nervous system and DNA specific vitamin, but there are many different types. And they affect different areas of the body. Does that answer your question? Okay, so supplementing with B12, they have a number of different types. What I would suggest, though, is taking a liquid form or one that dissolves under the tongue. And that's because it's hard for your digestive system to process and absorb. So, yep. Does that mean I was right? So you can get those. It's a very popular supplement. It's easily made, and it costs a very minimal amount. So taking these supplements won't cost you a small fortune, and it could prevent, you know, some very significant diseases in the future. Okay, last one is omega-3 fatty acids. Supplementation with those is also encouraged because very small amounts of them are found in food. The most obvious source for them being in large amounts is in fish and grass-fed beef. However, it's not required to consume those products in order to get omega-3 fatty acids. The most popular form of supplementation is fish oil, but flax oil is an alternative. Eating flax seeds, chia seeds, walnuts, and wheat will also give you plenty of omega-3 fatty acids. Some people do end up requiring more. Studies have shown that it helps prevent inflammation, which can be good for people with arthritis. But if you feel... Bye, Tin Soldier, thanks for coming. If you feel like you want to try it, you can definitely supplement with it. Again, it is affordable depending on which kind you get. But it's up to you. It's not one of the things that younger people really need to be worried about. Especially if they get it through their diet. As you get older, though, your digestive system stops working as effectively. Anyone who's over 30 and isn't on any supplements should think about adding them to their diet due to digestive deterioration issues, stuff like that. Cable, Zeus thinking of Tim's, confirmed. Zeus says, I need a hot chocolate and Timbits. Yeah, I feel ya. Me and Rusty are having a rough day. Okay. So I've pretty much covered everything that I wanted to talk about. So in the very last section of my page, I have a couple paragraphs devoted to putting all this information together. So to start, I would definitely encourage you to experiment with the tracker apps that I mentioned. So the Daily Dozen Checklist or MyFitnessPal will give you more insight into how you're eating, what areas you might need to focus on. And then in the future, we can talk about alternatives to the things that you are eating or that you're worried that you're not getting enough of. You can always ask me for some tips. In McVegan Pants' Discord, the food section is very popular. I don't have a Discord yet, but you can reach out to me on Twitter and on Facebook. I have a Facebook page and a Facebook group. I don't know, a lot of people, they don't like Facebook anymore, but it's up to you. So, one moment. Does anybody have any questions so far? Because I have one more... The computer's freaking out. I have one more topic that Dux wanted me to talk about. If nobody has any questions. Okay. So in McVegan Pants' Discord, Don't Fight Ducks asked me about this product. This product called Soylent. It's a meal replacement, and I'm familiar with. One of my friends is obsessed with them. I haven't had it myself, but it's basically a plant-based meal replacement. Comes in a lot of different flavors. Looking at the nutritional panel, it has about 20% of everything in it. It has a significant amount of calories, but it's supposed to be a meal replacement. So this is what he wanted to know about it. If it's good, if he should think about substituting meals with it. So here's my 2 cents. The list of ingredients up here intimidates me because it's a lot of synthetic. You might not actually be absorbing all of the things that you're consuming because these are all made in a lab or they're extracted from foods. And there's only 3 grams of fiber in the whole bottle. So fiber is actually more important than protein. So let me get a nice little descriptor for you here. How important is fiber in your diet? Do. Whoa! Hey! Did you notice how the dog left the room and the camera started shaking? Okay, he's really distracting, so I can't read. Okay. Rusty! Are you done? He's not done. Are you finished? Do you want to come back on the stream? Come here. Come here. Come here. Are you done barking? He doesn't want to come up here. Okay. So fiber is actually more important than protein because it will actually keep you fuller for longer. So Cable says ask anyone who skipped fiber on a bad day. Yeah. So the paleo diet that's really popular right now, it misses one key important aspect of Paleolithic man. So basically our ancestors, or our most closely related ancestors prior to the Industrial Revolution, potentially ate up to 100 grams of fiber per day. And the food that we get, what's on your shirt? Have you worn that before? It's Explore the Forest Moon of Camp Endor. I've worn it before, but I don't wear it very much because I don't wear t-shirts at work. Yeah, so I guess my consensus, since this is the Distractathon show, is that Soylent is a good alternative for a meal, but I would discourage you, ducks, from eating it all the time because you're not going to get enough fiber in your diet. If you want, you can have a Soylent and maybe a banana or a baked potato, but I wouldn't rely on it to meet your nutritional needs. But it is a good substitute. There are a number of other options too. Svelte makes a meal replacement. And Orgain makes meal replacement shakes. Baked potatoes, I know. I'm gonna make baked potatoes this week. I'm so excited. I haven't made them in forever. But that's my consensus, ducks. If you feel like you don't want to make anything and you just want to have snacks, that's also perfectly acceptable. If you want healthy snacks for dinner, do that. Have some more toast with peanut butter on it and a banana. That's healthy. It's good for you. Don't worry about it. Cables had baked sweet potatoes last night. I had sweet potato puffy things for lunch today after I took a nap with the dog. I love sweet potatoes. Yeah, so does anybody have any questions? Did I answer all of your serving size questions, Zeus? Protein questions? McVegan Pants says, NASA did a study if they could feed astronauts nothing but shakes, but it drove the test subjects nuts. Turns out humans need to chew things. That's where Carnation Instant Breakfast originated, though. Yes, I forgot to mention that. I was going to say that, but I forgot. Oh, great, I did. Carnation tastes nasty. Yeah, it does. But I have had some of those meal replacement shakes before. The Orgain kind is really good. They use stevia as a sweetener, so it kind of tastes like stevia, but I'm not sure about this Soylent stuff. I appreciate the fact that it is made from soy, and they put soy in the name. That had not occurred to me. I just thought it was like Soylent Green, which is made from people. So I'm not sure why they went with that name. Cable says, I wonder, though, if you raised a child only on those shakes, if it would know better. I mean, it's an ethical issue to test, so likely you won't know the answer. That is a good question. Yeah, I don't know. So, yeah, it's PayPal! Yeah, I don't know why they would willingly make their business name that when they know the pop culture reference. Okay. So I think I'm going to wrap it up. Like I said, it was going to be a short show because there's way too many things to talk about, more than this. So, next week, we're going to get back into the cooking. It's going to be tofu class, and I'm going to be making, let's see if I put it down here, vegan lasagna, stir fry with brown sauce, and baked tofu scramble. Those 3 of my favorite recipes, and I had a lot of fun making it. So, again, it's going to be a hosted video live stream. So basically, we're going to sit here, I'm going to talk to you about it, I'm going to play the video, and then I'm going to chat with you about what's happening while it's playing. Okay? It was actually a really delicious lasagna. I don't make lasagna very much, and McVegan Pants was like, it's perfect. She says, oh my god, that lasagna was amazing. I know. It was really good. Make it again. Okay. Hashtag pie. Yeah, I have to make a dessert show. I was going to make my tofu pumpkin pie for this episode, but I just ran out of time. I have been having trouble determining, like, deciding which types of proteins to play with in each episode. So we've got tofu, and then lentils, and then a miscellaneous episode. And then hopefully by that time, I'll be able to actually stream stuff. So I'll just make whatever. Cable says desserts and snacks. Yes, that was going to be one of the episodes. So what I have planned for that desserts and snacks one is protein chunks. I have a recipe to make brownie bites that's like almonds and walnuts, cocoa powder, and some spices. It's really delicious. Oh, and dates, obviously. And then I was going to make a chickpea blondie with chocolate chips. And then probably the tofu pumpkin pie. So, yeah. Join me next week. Hopefully at 3 p.m. I don't have my schedule for next week yet. I'm afraid in the future I might have to bump it up to 4 o'clock, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, so next Tuesday, the 17th, 4 p.m. For tofu class. It'll be fun and exciting. And if you live in New England, this weekend, Saturday the 14th at 10:30, I'm going to be giving a demonstration at Manchester Community College during the New Hampshire Veg Fest about brewing and bottling kombucha. I'm going to be selling a little booklet that I made. I'm going to be sampling kombucha, and I'm going to be giving away scobies so that you, too, can make kombucha at home. Cable says, hopefully I can watch next week, as long as I get out of work early enough, yeah. I hope you can come. I have fun talking to you guys about this stuff. And I had fun filming it. I think this one had a lot of outtakes and bloopers and stuff, and I think I have to edit it, so I have to make sure I do that this week before, so I'm ready. Because last week I wasn't ready. Thank goodness I got everything together. But anyway, so I'm going to go. We're going to roll some credits because I actually have it queued up this time. And we will see you next week. And you can follow me on Twitter, the same name, ClemCanCook. And I have a Facebook page at the same handle too. So thanks for coming, guys. Bye.